Modern depictions of Jesus will always miss the mark. Recently, I did a video reaction on the movie trailer called Judas Iscariot. It's supposed to be a modern day adaptation of the New Testament and fairy version, with Jesus as a bull, Judas as a hare, and everyone else around them being depicted as different types of animals, which is honestly, it's really cool. It's a really cool way to depict the New Testament in a different type of way. To my surprise, the video did good for this channel, and to be honest, I'm really thankful for that. I did feel a little conflicted though. One of those reasons is because I didn't know that video was gonna go like that, but also the comment section. I kind of felt bad that some of the people, especially brothers and sisters, saw this trailer and were hyped for the movie, and then they found my video and were immediately like concerned. You had some people that didn't care, but then you had some people that really didn't care because they believe that because Jesus is so far from our modern time, that pretty much the Jesus of history can be interpreted and retold any way a creator sees fit. You know, this was and currently is my problem with this Judas Iscariot movie being created and other things like it. Even The Chosen, I have trouble watching sometimes because of their depictions of Jesus, but I really like The Chosen. I like The Passion of Christ. I like The House of David. This film is cool as well, but the main issue lies in this. It's not that media adaptations aren't important or don't need to be made, but three questions that I think we should be asking when we're depicting Jesus in any type of way, or Christianity in any type of way. Because believe it or not, these works don't just come out of nowhere. There's always a purpose behind the things and intentions behind these things and why they're created. So the question to ask, one of the questions to ask is, who is this being made for? And why are you actually making this? To answer the first question, not just for this work of film, but any sort of Jesus depiction, Christian channel, Christian content, who is this for? Because on the surface level, without any intention, if you create a work of art and don't clarify the purpose of what it is for people can take what you have created and do what they want with it, which in art, that's okay. Looking at art can have people coming to different conclusions, and you especially run into issues when you try to depict a historical figure, and on top of that, a religious historical figure that billions of people all over the world trust and believe is alive and coming again. Like, are you making this thing for all Christians? Are you making it for furries to have an encounter with Jesus? Are you making it for families? Are you making it for a certain political side? What's the intention? To answer the second question, what exactly is the purpose? Now, in my video talking about Judas Iscariot, the creator laid out the reason as to why they were making this film, which how he described to make the characters go from static biblical characters to feeling like real people, which is understandable. I get that. And I love the acknowledgement that these biblical characters were indeed real and not a made up fairy tale like, some people say. But will we actually get that from the story, or will there be an agenda laced into the retelling? That's not clear up front from the creator, and most likely this movie will set the Christian world ablaze for a few days and then die out when it comes out. But that's the balance for every one of these depictions of the New Testament, even the Old Testament. Shoot, even for that Bible video game that's coming out, they have to deal with that same balance. It's interesting to me because I noticed a common thread from everyone who depicts or talks about Jesus, whether that they're being from Orthodox Christian side or progressive side, or people who just think Jesus is a cool guy. Everyone wants Jesus. He is the most influential person in history, and people want to have a Jesus to be what they want him to be, whether that be a chill guy, a rebel, a conservative, a progressive. But how many times are we asking ourselves when we're creating anything that centers around the Christian story, or even looking at the Christian story itself, who does Jesus himself claim and understand himself to be? What's unfortunate is that Jesus does reveal who he is in scripture multiple times, but oftentimes That's overlooked for various reasons. And one of the reasons that's kind of annoying is history itself. Some people don't take the historical account or scholarship seriously, or they just don't care about it. And that creates a made up Jesus or a twisting of reliable sources. The excuse is often because Jesus existed 2,000 years ago that it's okay to create a character stripped from the source. Granted, if that's not your intention, like if you want to all go off the rails all the way, say that. Just say that. Matthew 16 verse. And Jesus is growing in notoriety. He's healing the sick, the lame. He is claiming to have the authority to forgive sin. He is continuing to buck up against the Pharisees and the Sadducees. And obviously, everyone is talking about Jesus. They are claiming him to be things. In Matthew 16, 13 to 15, Jesus asks the disciples, "Who do people think the Son of Man is?" And everyone gives their reply. They reference John the Baptist, Elijah, Jeremiah, a prophet. Then Jesus asks them a different question and says, "Cool, but who do you think that I am? Who do you say that I am?" And Peter speaks up for everyone. He's like, "You are the one, you are the Messiah." And a crazy thing is, Jesus isn't like, "Yeah, that's what I am for you, but for everyone else can call me other things." Jesus affirms his answer as correct. That Jesus being the Son of Man, which in the Old Testament is a divine being, God himself. Check out Daniel. But Jesus is like, "You're right. I'm that guy, and no one else had to convince you but God the Father himself," affirmed Jesus' identity to Peter and the disciples. You have Jesus, Peter, the disciples, God the Father, all affirming that Jesus is who he says he is. If Jesus is who he says he is from scripture, especially the New Testament gospels that are historically evidenced to be circulating in the first century compared to the Gnostic gospels, shouldn't how we depict him matter? I think it does. C.S. Lewis, great Christian apologist, author of the beloved Chronicles of Narnia, said, "In Mere Christianity, I am trying here to prevent anyone saying the really foolish thing that people often say about him. I'm ready to accept Jesus as a great moral teacher, but I don't accept his claim to be God. That is the one thing we must not say. A man who was merely a man and said the sort of things Jesus said would not be a great moral teacher. He would either be a lunatic on a level with the man who says he is a poached egg, or else he would be the devil of hell. You must make your choice. Either this man was and is the Son of God, or else a madman or something worse. You can shut him up for a fool, you can spit at him and kill him as a demon, or you can fall at his feet and call him Lord and God. But let us not come with any patronizing nonsense about his being a great human teacher. He has not left that open to us. He did not intend to." This isn't a knock towards adaptations. I like them. I really don't mind them, but I think we should definitely use caution when to choose to do them and let our intention be known from the beginning. Unless you're just trying to cause controversy because you know to get eyes on your work. I mean, I guess that works too. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think people want Jesus? Do you think this is evidence by people having different depictions of Jesus? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch you later.